So I'm going to hook you guys up with some batter props. I actually have, let me count these real quick. What's up? Good morning. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 batter props that I gave away in my, or not gave away, but I put them in my VIP this morning. I'm waiting for my business partner to see if he has any plays, but today I'm going to hook you guys up with all the stuff that you would get in VIP. The reason I'm doing that is to give you kind of a preview of what VIP looks like and what you would be expecting. Also, I'm going to hook you guys up. I have a very important announcement. I'm going to show you guys what that is. I worked on it all day yesterday. Well, not all day, but pretty much my afternoon yesterday. So I'm excited to show you that at the end of this video. Stay tuned for that. I'm going to hook you guys up with 7 batter props today. And I'm going to show you what the teams look like, why I'm staying away from them as well. If you haven't done so, make sure you get on the link in the description and click on free picks. That's basically it's free stuff. So we give you free picks, free information, things like that. So make sure you take care of that. So the first thing I wanted to show you guys is this is the Sharp Edge. This is the tool that I use all the time. Basically, these are not the strong plays. These are just leans. These are considered what you would look like, for example, how to start your research. This is basically where I start my research. Is it gives you the strongest indications of a mismatch. That's what it is. So, for example, this is a high confidence. So let me just tell you, Yamamoto is one of the best pitchers out there right now. He's going against one of the worst pitchers, which is Freeland. So Dodgers have a big mismatch in pitching. There's a huge team disparity also. Dodgers are 71 and 53 versus the Rockies are 35 and 89. I'm not sure if they're still in last place, but they were in last place. And they actually broke a history record for being the worst team in history. So they beat the White Sox from last year. Dodgers are 5-0 in the last 5 times they faced each other. There's a clear dominance for the Dodgers. There was something I didn't like for the Dodgers. I think they're like 20% while they're on the road or something like that, 15%. So I'm actually going to stay away from the Dodgers, but there is a massive mismatch in that game. Now we go to the Tigers. Significant pitching mismatch is Arrietty's ERA versus the road struggles of Flaherty. Better numbers. Tigers exceptional home value. Tigers have been hot 4-1 in the last 5. Astros are struggling 2-3 in the last 5. Strong as favorites at a -142 or more. So significant pitching mismatch. So you might want to look at the first 5 innings. I'm not touching this game. I'm just showing you what came up. Clear pitching advantage over here. Peralta 14-5, 2.9 ERA versus a rookie in Horton. Brewers have superior offense. So the Brewers were extremely hot. I don't know what their streak was, but I believe they had like an 11-0 run, or 11 or 12 games in a row where they did not lose. Brewers have superior offense, five runs per game, second in baseball, better overall record, road performance value. So if you had those 3 teams, you could look at any team. That's the great part about this Sharp Edge tool. Before I only was focused on the strongest teams, and that was it. And then that was it. So if I didn't, I do a lot of other research, but with this tool, you see everything. So you can click around into any of these games, and it gives you the full breakdown. So, anyways, let's look at the Milwaukee game. Let's look at the Detroit game, and then let's look at the Cubs game. Actually, there's two Milwaukee games. So I'm going to look at the first game only, and then what was the last one? Dodgers. So let me go back in here. Let me look at the first one that came up, which was Milwaukee Brewers. So this is for game 1. Now for game 1, you can see the line started for the Cubs side. So Cubs are favored. They're actually stuck at a 120, so the line didn't move. The bets placed was 57% on Milwaukee's side. 92% of the money is coming in on Milwaukee. So you got to think about this. If this, you always have to analyze this stuff. If there's 92% of the money that you see right there, 92% of the money is coming in on Milwaukee, why is the line still stuck at a 120? So that doesn't make sense to me. Right there, I don't like that. Especially because you got Peralta over here, 2.90. That's great. So these are two front end, what you would call elite pitchers, both of these guys. So even though this guy's a rookie, he's already played 10 games. Very solid compared to Peralta. Peralta is one of the best pitchers, but this guy's not far behind. I don't have any bullpen data. They changed the way that the data is being pulled, so there's no bullpen data today. I can go look at it, but I'm not that interested in this game. You can see the batting average is better in the last 7 days. You got 14 days, 30 days. I'm only looking at the last 7 days. They got a .300, 8 runs per game versus 2 points per game. So that's another negative that's another positive for Milwaukee. But again, if there's that much money coming in and they're outscoring them 8-3 in the games, then it should be a lot better. OPS is much, much stronger for Milwaukee as well. Pitching is better overall. This is just the last 7 days, not just today. So pitching is a little bit better for the Cubs. You can see they're even a little bit over projection to win. And the Cubs do have all A- green signs over here versus yellow. So again, there's way too many contradictions. I'm not touching this game. Look at how many contradictions are coming in right here. They got green over here, red, green, green, green. It's all mixed. It's all over the damn place. Right. So I'm skipping this game, like I said from the beginning. I'm not touching this game. Let's go to the next game. Tigers. Tigers started at a 142. Now they're down to a 140. You can see Detroit has the bets and the money. It's not crazy heavy, but it is a lot higher. Detroit has Flaherty, just like I said, it's a big mismatch on this is still below average. This guy's way below average. So Flaherty is better than Arrighetti, but not by much. And then you got pretty much close batting, much better pitching overall. And then almost 60% chance that Detroit's going to win. 56 overall chance they're going to win. And then one thing I don't like is that Detroit says that they are going to be batting in the ninth because they're at home. And what that's saying is that they're not going to be winning the game. And you can see how many contradictions are over here as well. I'm not going to go through each one, but there's a lot of contradictions there. So I'm not touching this game either. Like I said, it's a very shitty slate. I don't like it. And then the Dodgers. This is the one I was actually going to look at very heavily. I was looking at this all morning, or not all morning, but early. And I'm sorry I'm a little bit stuttering. I'm getting over a flu. So I had to come on here because I missed the weekend. So anyway, Dodgers opening at a 260. Now they're at a 275. So even though they're heavily, heavily favored, they're becoming more favorite. So look how much money and how much of the bets is coming in. 94% of the bets, 96% of the money is coming in on the Dodgers. Like I said, Yamamoto outnumbers this guy by a lot, 2.84 versus a 5.1. That's a huge mismatch. Colorado's playing at home. This is going to most likely be an over game, but the line is all the way up at 11, I think. So I'm not going to touch the over-unders either. A lot of the batters did come up to get 2 hits, and that normally happens when they're playing in Colorado. But today it's even better because the OPS for both teams is decent. But again, I'm not touching the over-unders. So batting average, you can see, is pretty low for both teams. They're only scoring about 4.5 points per game or runs. Then you got pretty bad pitching on both sides, which helps the over. 86% chance that the Dodgers are going to win. They're projected to score 8 runs versus 4.5. So that's a 12.5 total of what the projection is. Look at all this green versus all this red. So Dodgers was looking very massive against the Colorado. So the other thing is, so one of the major things I didn't like, let me show you what that looked like. Give me a second. Let me pull it up. So the reason I stopped looking at this game was because of this stat, which I don't like. Even though they look very, very good, once I see something I don't like, I don't touch it. I don't like seeing contradictions. Let me see if I can find this. So I use this other tool called Outlier. The link is in the description for that one also. Let me share what this looks like. So the Dodgers right here, this is an insight on this game. The Dodgers are 20% in their last 5 games on the road. So when they're on the road, they suck. They've only won 1 game in the last 5 when they're on the road, which, again, they're playing on the road today. So that's why I'm staying away from this game. Everything else matches. More than likely, they're going to win this game, but I'm not going. I'm not touching it. So I'm going to give you guys 7 batter props for sticking around. All right, let me get into that. Give me 1 second. Oh, so before I get out of this screen, let me. I'm gonna. This is what I worked on yesterday. So you can see this is just sample data. This is actually for the NFL. This is what I've been working on. It's already created. Now I just have to kind of bring in the information and the teams and all that stuff. But this is just sample data. But this is what I'm looking at for the sharp edge for football. So again, even the logos are not popping up yet. So I'm still working on this. But you can see it's going to have the spread opening, the current spread, the totals, the current totals, the Bills money line and the Patriots money line and stuff like that. Then it's going to give you the percentage of the bets, percentage of the spread, percentage of the total, the money on the total, all that stuff for the NFL. Then also for the quarterbacks rather than the pitcher, obviously it's going to be for NFL, so for football, you're going to see the differences there. And then key offensive players for running backs and for wide receivers. And then for offensive stats, you're going to have the entire breakdown of what they do per game. Same thing for defense. Same projections that you see on the baseball side, you're going to see for football. Then also for instead of the 9th inning, it's going to be like, what are they looking like in the 4th quarter? So it's pretty much, like I said, I'm still working on this stuff, but look at how much of it's going to be very similar to what you see in baseball, but it's going to be leaning towards football. So I hope that makes sense. All right, let me hook you guys up now. So Michael Harris to get 1 hit. This is what I'm going with today. So I'm going to hook you guys up with all I ask now that when you go on YouTube, if you're on YouTube, if you haven't done so, go to the link in the description or go to Beast Sports Picks and then subscribe. I hook you guys up with a lot of stuff. And if you haven't done so, make sure you check us out for VIP and Discord. The tools that we use are also listed there. So Teoscar Hernandez to get 1 hit. Shohei Ohtani to get 1 hit. JP Crawford to go under 1 RBI. Jared Triolo to go under 1 RBI. Michael Harris, the second from the Braves to get 1 hit. Maikel Garcia to get a hit. And then Bobby Witt Jr. to get a hit. I'll go through one more time. So if you guys want to take a screenshot, Bobby Witt Jr. to get a hit. Maikel Garcia to get a hit. Michael Harris to get a hit. Jared Triolo under RBI. JP Crawford under RBI. Shohei Ohtani to get a hit. Teoscar Hernandez to get a hit. So that's a little bit of a preview of what you would get inside the VIP. That's in the morning. I throw out these plays. And then these are kind of heavily juiced. So you have to either parlay them together or try to get them at the best odds you can. Normally, I go up as high as like minus 280 on 1 hits. And then on the RBIs, I actually have to parlay them because they're so highly juiced. But they're hitting at a very, very high rate where it makes sense to pay the juice because they're hitting at such a high rate. I hope that makes sense. Let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, like I said, I'm skipping all the games today. I'm not touching them. The only thing I'm doing that's a little different is that, well, not different, but for one of the batters, he's way too high. It's like a minus 450. So what I'm doing is I'm putting him as a sports alert so that when he comes up to bat, I'll get the alert and then I'm going to bet him live. So if you haven't checked that out, there's a video that I created on how to bet these batters live without watching the game. You just get an alert on your phone when he comes up to bat. It's called the sports alerts. It's on your phone. All right, guys. I'm pretty much done here, man. Let's have a great day. Thank you so much. If you want to check us out on VIP, we have a 1-day option. You would get plays like this with the batter props under RBIs. Then we have no run first innings as a parlay. And then we also have team games. But today there's no teams that I'm going with. So, again, I'm still waiting for my business partner. He throws out some plays as well. If he likes something, he'll put it out. He did mention, let me tell you what he likes, actually. Don't quote me on these because these are not confirmed, but he is looking at these today. The Brewers, the Cardinals, the Phillies, the Brewers, so both games, and then the Diamondbacks. I'll say that one more time. So he's looking at both games for the Brewers to win, Cardinals, Phillies, and Diamondbacks. All right, guys. Thank you so much, man. If that made sense to you and you like this sort of information, make sure you subscribe. Thank you so much. Let's have a great day.